Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. I'm Yamajit, and I'm so glad that you could join me this evening for part two of modern Chod practice for the modern West. I'd like to start out with a couple of announcements. So good. Sorry for the slight interruption there. We were having some sound issues. So I'm going to come back to the start here. All right. So this coming Tuesday, 7 o'clock, we'll be continuing with part 18 of our series on meditations of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. That will be 7 o'clock, either on YouTube or you can join us in person at our temple at 1260 South Xavier Street, Denver, Colorado. On Friday, we'll be honoring Ma Kali Snarudra Kali. This will be part 10 of our series on the 12 Tantric Kalis. And I am hoping, weather permitting, that this will include our first outdoor fire puja for this year. Once again, it'll be 7 o'clock on Friday, either in person or live on YouTube. There's some legal disclaimers I'll need to go through before we go through the introductory materials. So this presentation is for educational purposes only, does not claim to diagnose, prevent, or cure any disease or disorder. The advice and methods of this presentation should not be construed as financial, medical, or psychological advice. Please seek the advice of a professional if you have serious financial, medical, or psychological issues. And if a CHA session doesn't feel right to you, please do not perform it. This meditation will contain some imagery that some might find disturbing, so discretion advised. And by watching and or participating in this presentation, you understand that results are not guaranteed. Yamajit, John Hollinsby Mayer, Tridevi Chamunda Mandir, and YouTube cannot accept any responsibility for any injuries or damages incurred from the practices and meditations contained in this video. So again, welcome to our second monthly installment of Modern Chod Practice for the West. So just to review some material from our part one, Cha is a traditional meditational practice within Tibetan Buddhism. Cha means to cut or to sever the ego. This practice allows one to release one's self from negative effects of ego attachments. Culturally, we're conditioned to fear, fight, and or repress the shadow side of our psyche. In this guided meditation practice, the participant transforms the shadow by symbolically honoring it. So the practices shared in this series are modern adaptations of the traditional practice, and it's inspired by the writings of Lama Tsultrim Allione, Baal Kedman, Daniel Odier, and the American psychologist Eugene Gendlin. Each month, we're going to be doing, for the most part, variations of the basic practice that I first shared with you last month. In this practice, inner issues such as insecurities, fears, anxieties, unhealthy patterns or habits, addictions, depressions, are personified as inner demons. We can even use this practice to help us to understand and work with any psychological issues behind some physical condition or symptom, and that will actually be the theme of one of our upcoming monthly meditations. The goal of this practice is to transform and to redirect these energies, not by trying to repress, fight, or destroy them, but by honoring them and even feeding them the idea of our body. Cha stems from the idea that when we try to repress something in our psyche, we're actually empowering and strengthening it. One of my early teachers, the late Charles Bibot, used to say, for everything you repress, you become obsessed. The practice dates back to Tibet in the 11th century and was developed by the female guru Machig Lobdron and adapted through the centuries by many others. I've done variations of this practice now for several months and have found it very effective. And most recently, I've been learning a traditional Chod practice dedicated to Vajrayogini, the personification of female Buddhahood. I'll be slowly adding some related aspects of this practice into these monthly meditations. In modern adapted Chod practice, we think of something disharmonious in our life. Then in meditation, we locate that issue in our physical body, perhaps an area of physical tension. We then imagine that issue as a living being and notice its details. This being or demon can be in human or animal form or some mythological form. We ask its name, what it wants, what it needs from us, and how it would feel once we offer it to them. And then we listen carefully for its answers. In this practice, we then offer ourselves to the demon. This can involve imagining our body dissolving into a sweet nectar, which the demon consumes to complete satisfaction. That was the theme of last month's practice. In other forms, we observe the demon actually eating our physical body, and this is the variation we'll be practicing this month. We can even, and this will be the theme of another practice, we can even envision dismembering our own body and offering the pieces to the demon to consume. Usually in such visualizations, you're using a kartika, and this is a blade used in sky burials. And the pieces of the physical shell being placed in a kapala or skull cup. In Cha, it's important to note that we are offering not our literal body, but instead the idea of our body. And this can also include the idea of everything else that we value and identify with. So our talents, the roles we play, our livelihood, our possessions, wealth, and so on. After the demon has eaten his or her fill, we then observe how the demon is transformed into something else as a result of that feeding, and then integrate the transformed being into our psyche. The demon may transform into a being who's an ally or something of a more symbolic nature, like maybe a trident or a crystal or some kind of animal, like a bird. At this point, it is very important as you integrate that power into yourself to be aware of changes you feel physically during that integration. So, do you notice some physical release or a feeling of warmth or increased relaxation? When we have those shifts on the visceral level, this tends to bring about more lasting changes. To conclude the practice, we'll then spend some time relaxing in a place of stillness and silence and allowing ourselves to fully integrate the practice into our being. Traditional Cha involves a guided visualization chant which is spoken or sung either in Tibetan or image or English and accompanied by the playing of a damaru drum, a bell, and a kangling or thigh-bone trumpet. I'll be using some slightly different versions of these, and I'm going to go ahead and pan the camera around. So I'm going to be using this Tibetan temple drum and a bell that I found last time I was in Nepal. This practice was first adapted for modern use by the modern Western Lama Sultram Alion of the Tara Mandala Center in Pagosa Springs, Colorado, and I highly recommend that you read her book, Feeding Your Demons, and take part in her guided meditations, which you can find on YouTube. Another Western writer, Baal Ked, shares another adaptation of this practice in his book, Chod Practice Demystified, and I highly recommend you reading this as well. And this work is actually a major inspiration for this month's practice. So we'll be witnessing our bodies being eaten by our demon of the present moment. So again, welcome and namaste. And I'm now going to move the camera toward our altar, and we'll begin with our opening puja. So I invite you now to breathe deeply, closing your eyes, sitting with a straight back. Just taking a moment to ground, to center, to clear the mind, letting go of the issues of the past, the cares of today, and the concerns of tomorrow. And then slowly bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center. And we're going to open this practice by chanting 3 seed mantras, 3 very important mantras for this traditional practice. Om, Ah, Hum. So I invite you to slowly take in a deep breath for Om. Inhale, Ah. Inhale, Inhale and exhale, slowly opening your eyes. Om. Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavistam Gatopiva Yashmare Pandarikaksham Sabhyabhyanta Sushi. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Jai Ganesha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namah. Jai Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Kalase Patana Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Jayanti Mangalakali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Shama Shiva Datri Svasvada Namostute. Jai Tvam Devi Chamundi. Jai Bhujita Harani. Jai Sarvagate Devi Kalaratri Namostute. Jai Ma. And so for this installment, we're going to begin to use a traditional puja mantras in Tibetan for this practice. Om Mahadeva Dakini Svapadavada Agyam Praticha Om Sva. So we offer water for drinking. Om Mahaguru Deva Dakini Sapadavada Padyam Praticha Om Sva. Water for washing. Om Mahaguru Devadakini Sapadavana Pushpe Praticha Om Sva. Offering flowers. Om Mahaguru Devadakini Sapadavana Dope Praticha Om Sva. We offer incense. Om Mahaguru Deva Dakini Sapadavada Aloke Praticha Om Sva. Offering a flame. Om Mahaguru Dakini Sapadavada Gande Praticha Om Sva. Offering perfume. Om Mahaguru Deva Dakini Sapadavada Navidye Praticha Om Sva. Offering food. Om Mahaguru Dakini Sapadavada Shabda Praticha Om Sva. Offering music. Jema. So I invite you to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let the sound of the drum and the bell and the thigh bone trumpet guide you into a state of relaxation. I invite you now to silently declare the intention for this practice. We declare that we are doing this practice for the benefit of all beings and for the harm of none. We'll now begin by taking 12 deep, clearing breaths. The first of the 3 breaths. We're going to breathe in and imagine our breath traveling to any tensions in the physical body, and then release this tension with the exhalation. So I invite you to breathe in, breathe out as we exhale. Let's do this 2 more times. For the second of the 3 breaths, inhale into any emotional tensions like sadness or anxiety, and just feel where you hold that in your body, and then release it with each exhalation. Inhale, exhale. Let's do 2 more. Then the third of the 3 breaths, I invite you to breathe into any mental tension. So as you breathe in, feel where you hold worries or nervousness or mental blockages, and release them with the exhalation. Inhale. And 2 more times. And now for the final 3 breaths. You will release the tensions that occur on a spiritual level. These can include any self-doubts that you may have or concerns that you're somehow not doing this meditation correctly. What you'll experience tonight is all your own, and there is no right or wrong way to experience this practice. Inhale. And 2 more. So I invite you to sit comfortably in a position with a straight back, or you can lay down in Shavasana. Begin to think of the issue that's bothering you right now at this moment. Is it shame? Is it anger, fear, or anxiety, sadness? Whatever it is, just think about it. Don't try to overthink or to force anything. Just focus on the first thing that comes to you. This is the best issue for you to focus on at this moment. Now check in with your body. Breathe deeply. Scan your body and find the place where that issue resides. Could be a place of physical tension or some other sensation like emptiness, or somewhere your awareness just gravitates to. Either way, bring both your breath and your awareness to that physical region. Now begin to visualize what that issue looks like. Don't control it. Just watch it and observe it. And then begin to visualize the sensation as a living being and see it facing you. If an inanimate object appears, just try to imagine what it would look like if it were personified as some kind of living thing. It could be in human form or the form of an animal. It could also be of a more mythical form, both human and animal in nature. So what color is this demon? What skin surface does it have? Is it smooth, rough, hairy, scaly? What gender is your demon? How big or small is it? What is its character or emotional state? Notice its eyes. What sounds is it making? And now take a moment and try to notice something else about the demon that you haven't noticed before. And now I invite you to say to the demon, please, do not be afraid. Please, come to me. I have what you desire. And then ask the demon, "What is your name?" And listen to its response. And then ask, "Please tell me what you want from me. What can I do for you?" And again, listen to and watch for its response. And now ask, "Please tell me what it is that you need from me. What do you need from me?" And again, listen. Hear its response. And finally ask, "How will you feel once you receive it?" And again, listen to and watch for its response. And now continue to breathe deeply and envision yourself sitting down before the demon. And begin to observe your seated body and notice that it has the quality of the feeling that the demon would have when its need was satisfied. So, what color is your body? Does it seem heavy or light? What qualities, what other qualities would you notice about your body at this time? On one hand, your consciousness still inhabits this physical shell, but on the other, it is as if you have stepped back and are witnessing from a short distance. And now the demon's helpers come forward. They are smaller beings in human or animal form, and they hold chopping knives with curved and hooked blades. And witness them now dismembering your body into several pieces and placing them into a large skull cup or kapala. And now watch your demon feed upon the body until it is completely satisfied. And when finished, no pieces of your body will remain, not even the tiniest drop of blood. Now that all has been consumed, begin to observe how the demon changes its form, changes its shape. Is there a change in color, its shape, its size? Does it change into an object of some kind? Or does it change into another being? Just relax. Just observe and honor this change or changes. And now, once you see this new form, allow yourself to merge with it. It comes closer and becomes a part of you. And it will be at this point that you feel a physical or emotional shift. Just let yourself be aware of this change in yourself. And again, just honor it. And now allow yourself to rest in the present state. Once the transformed energy merges with you, let yourself dissolve into a state of emptiness. And for the next few minutes, just let your mind relax without creating any particular experience. Just rest without filling the space, not trying to make anything happen or rushing to finish. Just being in the present moment. Kante kante parakante parasukante bodhisvaha. Kante kante parakante parasukante bodhisvaha. Kante kante parakante parasukante bodhisvaha. I invite you now to take a deep, clearing breath, letting go of the meditation and bringing your awareness back to this time and this place. Hear the sound of my voice and any other sounds in the room. Become aware of the sensation of your body seated or lying where it is. Slowly move your fingers and toes, hands and feet, arms and legs. And slowly, with your eyes closed, bringing the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Give gratitude to yourself for taking part in this practice tonight. Take a moment and check in with yourself and just notice how you're feeling at the moment. Effects of the practice we've just done. And let this practice carry into the days ahead. And slowly opening your eyes. Namaste. Jai Mata Di. Blessings always. And thank you so very much for joining me this evening. So I hope you enjoyed the experience of this meditation. Feel free to email me with any questions at omcdevi, AUMCDEVI @gmail.com. And I look forward to you joining me for Tuesday as we continue the meditations of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Till then, have a wonderful night, a wonderful weekend ahead. Jai Ma.